YouTube, it's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, 4 division world champion, superstar boxer, Adrien the Problem Broner, he informs Showtime in the boxing world that after witnessing last night's Triller, Triller, show, and how they putting out a lot of money to put on events and performances, Adrien Broner, who just a few weeks ago, he stated that and informed Showtime and the PBC, Premier Boxing Champions, that if they didn't schedule a fight for him within the next few weeks, that he was going to look to possibly sign the Triller, possibly sign the ESPN and Top Rank with legendary promoter and CEO Bob Arum, possibly looking to sign into the Zone with Matchroom CEO and promoter Eddie Hearn. He's just looking to stay busy and get the biggest fights. Adrien Broner, he recently just got back in the ring after a 2-year hiatus. We saw him in the ring against Giovanni Santiago. That took place February 20th of 2021 this year. Prior to that, the last time we saw Adrien Broner in the ring was when he took on 8 division world champion, legendary, iconic Filipino superstar boxer Manny Pacman Pacquiao. That took place January of 2019. So you can see how he has been inactive for 2 years. And Adrien Broner, now that he's active, and he stated that he was dealing with things from, legal things, that he wanted to, essentially continue to, stay active, stay busy. He stated that that keeps him physically and mentally in shape. And he wanted to keep the ball rolling. He didn't want to stay stagnant after his last fight. He came back after 2 years and took on Giovanni Santiago, and it wasn't his best performance. A lot of people was looking at the performance, and people were saying that Giovanni Santiago should have gotten a nod in the fight. Adrien Broner, 34 wins, 4 losses, 1 draw, 24 wins by way of knockout. He's 31 years of age, stands at 5'6" with a 69-inch and a half-inch arm reach. Okay. With that said, somebody that's been linked to Adrien Broner showcased his talents on Triller last night, and he got paid hefty to do so as well. And Adrien Broner, we saw YouTube sensation Jake Paul, his 3rd fight, and he got almost $900,000 for his 3rd fight, okay, as a professional. And so did his opponent. But a guy that Adrien Broner has been linked to is REGIS Prograis, former IBF, junior welterweight, world champion, superstar boxer, REGIS Prograis, 25 wins, 1 loss, 21 wins by way of knockout. He is 32 years of age, stands at 5'8" with a 67-inch arm reach. He took on and defeated Ivan Redcash last night. It was a bit of a act on the part of Ivan Redcash, who got hit with a right hook to the body. He pretended it was low. He started rolling around in the ring. He had to be carried out on a stretcher, so on and so forth, okay? But Adrien Broner and REGIS Prograis, they have been linked to facing off against one another, okay? And so Adrien Broner, sees, a guy that's possibly a future opponent on Triller and getting big money to do so, okay? And he hasn't, and he did it in a stay busy type of fight, okay? It wasn't a high profile, high quality fight against Ivan Redcash. Ivan Redcash is a journeyman within the sport of boxing, okay? So with that said, he did so against, he got big money to face off against Ivan Redcash, and Adrien Broner and guys are looking at this, from a standpoint that they want to get paid. Like I said, you look at the history of professional boxers, and at their 3rd fight, they're not getting anywhere near the money these guys are getting. Okay, Jake Paul got $690,000 for his fight. Ben Askren, he got $500,000 for this fight. This is Ben Askren's first professional boxing match. Is Jake Paul's 3rd professional boxing match. Ivan Redcash got $250,000. REGIS Prograis, he got the highest payday of the night at $850,000, nearly $1 million, to showcase his talents against Ivan Redcash. So then you have Frank Mir, he got $350,000, and you have Steve Cunningham, former world champion, he got $150,000. Then you have Raycon, he got $80,000, and Joe Fournier, he got $220,000. Okay, and these guys are still they're very green. Okay, they're all amateur, borderline amateur boxers, and this is the money that they're receiving. So Adrien Broner, you can imagine what Adrien Broner stands to make. You can imagine what Adrien Broner stands to make. If he takes his talents over there. Like I said, Regis Prograis was considered the highest profile athlete boxer on this card, and he got $850,000. Okay, and Regis Prograis was a one-time world champion at junior welterweight. Okay, so you look at Adrien Broner, who's a 4-division world champion, who's a superstar, who's a big money earner in the sport of boxing. Naturally, you imagine if he take his talents over to Triller, what he stands to make. And then we know that we saw that we had unified, undefeated lightweight world champion superstar boxer Teofimo Lopez. He's going over to Triller as well. He took his IBF mandatory to a purse bid in which we had, and he's contractually obligated to fight on Top Rank with legendary promoter Bob Arum and ESPN. Okay, his mandatory challenge went with George Kambosos Jr., who's an undefeated Australian boxer. That went to a purse bid in which Top Rank, they put up $2.3 million. Then you had Matchroom come in, they put up $3.2 million. And then you had Triller come in and offer a whopping $6 million, okay? $6 million, in which you're going to have George Kambosos Jr. stand to make $2 million on Triller. Then you're going to have Teofimo Lopez make $3.2 million on Triller. And then Teofimo Lopez, because of his obligations contractually to Top Rank and Bob Arum and ESPN, he has to pay them $800,000. Okay, so that makes up the $6 million. Okay, that's $4 million essentially on Teofimo Lopez part and $2 million on George Kambosos Jr. part. And then Teofimo Lopez, he got a deal done with Twitter now, and they're going to pay him another $3.8 million. So he's going to stand to make $7 million. And George Kambosos Jr., this is by far his highest payday in his career, by far the biggest payday in George Kambosos Jr.'s career. And he's going to get $2 million. He's never made $1 million in any fight. Now he's going to stand to make $2 million because Triller is looking to put on high profile events. Not just boxing matches, events. It was a concert that showcased boxing. It was a boxing. You understand? So it was an event. It was a eventful night. Okay. And with that said, Adrien Broner and these other boxers, they have to be looking at this and saying, well, Teofimo Lopez, that was a big move on the part of Teofimo Lopez. That was a huge move on the part of Regis Prograis, who is considered a rival of Adrien Broner. He's linked to Adrien Broner. There's talks that Adrien Broner and Regis Prograis can have a showdown. So imagine if Regis Prograis got $850,000 to fight Ivan Redcash. Okay, so essentially they gave $1 million. They gave $1 million to Regis Prograis and Ivan Redcash. Okay, and they gave $1 million to Jake Paul and Ben Askren. Okay, then they gave $500,000 to Frank Mir and Steve Cunningham. Then they gave you get $300,000 to Raycon and Joe Fournier. So you understand they're willing to put out the money. Okay, so imagine if he could make $1 million, Regis Prograis fighting Ivan Redcash. They put up $1 million for that fight, and they're putting up $6 million for Teofimo Lopez versus George Kambosos. Understand what they stand to put up if Adrien Broner and Regis Prograis, a serious high-profile fight to take place on Triller. Imagine what Regis Prograis and Adrien Broner could get to showcase their talents on Triller. Now we know it's being reported that they did 1.3 million pay-per-views. Okay, 1.3 million pay-per-views last night is what is being reported that it did. So you put Adrien Broner on the card, and then you have because they had a concert. They had entertainers performing in between fights. So it was a concert that showcased boxing in between. Or you could look at it either which way. But you can imagine if they're willing to put up $6 million for Teofimo Lopez, George Kambosos, what they'll put up for Adrien Broner versus Regis Prograis. If they'll put up $1 million for Regis Prograis versus Ivan Redcash, they're willing to put up some hefty money for Adrien Broner to showcase his talents and Adrien Broner's social media following, Adrien Broner's personality outside of the ring. he's still a huge draw in the sport of boxing. You can imagine what Triller value him as. So if he fought Regis Prograis on Triller, you could imagine what the numbers, what they're looking to do and put up for Adrien Broner. And it would be an event in itself. So Adrien Broner, who stated that, he's on a fight-by-fight basis with Showtime and the PBC. He's just staying loyal via handshake, okay, and loyalty. So imagine what Adrien Broner can stand to make if he took his talents to Triller. So let's see how this unfolds and plays out. Showtime also, Adrien Broner fights on Showtime. Showtime just released a 5-month schedule, and Adrien Broner is not on that schedule, okay? They just released a 5-month schedule with one pay-per-view that's going to schedule to take place June 26th with Gervonta Tank Davis, 2-division world champion, taking on Mario Barrios for who's the undefeated junior welterweight WBA regular champion for a 3rd title. That's the only pay-per-view. Now, you do have a huge fight in Brandon Figueroa and Luis Neri, and you also have huge fight with huge implications. You have Jamel Charlo versus Brian Costano. That is July 17th in the undisputed match, okay? But they're not pay-per-view events. But they rolled out a 5-month schedule, and Adrien Broner is not part of it, and he's been calling out to stay active, and they haven't granted him his wish. So imagine what Triller is willing to do for Adrien Broner to take his talents over there. And like I said, Regis Prograis, he's been linked to Adrien Broner. It's a possibility we could see Regis Prograis, Adrien Broner on Triller. And it's time that these boxers start taking their career and taking the reins into their own hands. So let's see how this unfolds and plays out. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed? Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notification. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.
Hey, this is Ebony Bridges, Blonde Bomber, and you're watching Blue Blood Sports TV.